Shalom, shalom. All praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Shemel Shai. Double honor to the apostle, Nels, great millstone. Peace and blessing to you. I can push this truth throughout the four winds. All right. I titled this video, Only to Be Wicked. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just going to start off. In Wisdom of Solomon 13:1 and read on down to 19. Okay. It says, surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of the Most High, okay, and cannot out of good things that are seen know him that is. Okay, so it's telling you like everything came from something. It wasn't no Big Bang Theory, okay? Even if you roll with that narrative, the things you had that had to fall in place had to be created by something or someone. Okay? But it says, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the work master. Okay? All right, this is a precept, Psalms 14:1. It says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, the fool has said in his heart or in his mind, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. Okay, so only a fool would say there is no creator. And that's why I named this Only to Be Wicked. Because as this goes along, I don't want to jump the gun too much, but it's going to basically show you that the reason for people doing these things was so that they could please their own flesh. All right, verse 2. It says, but redeemed either fire, not redeemed, but deemed either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the violent waters or the lights of heaven to be gods which govern the world. Okay, so that's how people basically want to label and title things. They don't want to give the credit to Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right. They want to say, okay, it's a fire god. Okay, and these things could also go into like Greek mythology. Okay, Poseidon, you know what I'm saying, water, Hades with fire, Zeus, you know what I'm saying? But they look into these things as being gods. Anything but the true power, which is Yahweh Shemel Shai. This is John chapter 3, verse 19. And this is why. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were wicked. And that's why, if we could just say we're praying to the moon, or we're praying to the stars, what comes from that? There's no guidelines, no stipulations, no rules to be followed. You basically can do exactly what you want to do, free will, free-minded. Okay? This precept is telling you it's condemnation. The light is coming to the world. It condemns people. People want to stay in darkness and do their wicked deeds. That's why a lot of things that go on when people do wicked shit, it's at nighttime. You know what I'm saying? So nobody can see them. Creeping in somebody's wife's back door. You know what I'm saying? Hopping a fence, jumping, you know what I'm saying? Going in to where nobody can see you at the front yard or whatever. Or half up pick you up, you ducking in the car and go pull up in the garage or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's all done at night. Least possibility to be caught. Okay? But the truth of Yahweh Shemel Shai is light. Okay? And this is why people don't want to acknowledge that there's a higher power. Because if it's a higher power that basically gives off an order, then you have to listen. Then you have to be subject to do these things that were ordained and ordered for you to do to be considered righteous. But nobody wants to do that. So now when you bring forth the truth of the whole matter, nobody want to hear it, because nobody wants to be held to a standard, if you will. Okay? Nobody wants to say something simple. Like, man, eating pork, that's Old Testament. Eating shrimps, that's Old Testament, man. We could do all those things and justify it with a scripture that has nothing to do with food. You know what I'm saying? Like Acts the 10th chapter. That's one of their main run-tos. Okay, that's neither here nor there. But verse 3. With whose beauty, if they being delighted took them to be gods, let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty hath created them. Precept. This is Psalms 146. I'm going to start at 5. It says, happy is he that hath the power of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in the Lord his power, which made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that therein is, which keepeth truth forever. Okay, so he is the author of all these things that people call beautiful and call that could be a god, because you go throughout history, man, and if you all you see is people making gods of cats, having made a gods of flowers, just making gods of anything. Okay, but verse 4, it says, but if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made them. So if you see all these, the beauty and power, and you're amazed, imagine how much more astonished that you would be if you understood the mind that put this together. Okay? But they don't take the time out to think that, because a lot of people base everything on what the eyes can see. It's a precept. This is Psalms 139 and 2. Thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off. And I put a little side note. Man is the number one creation, and we're controlled by him. Okay? So, if you're amazed at and astonished by the power of and virtue, you got to understand the ultimate creation is man. Okay? So he knows the ultimate creation, which would be being a person. Like, have you ever just thought about how astonished you should be that a body could live inside of another body? Bones grow inside of another body. A child can live submerged underwater in another body. Those things are amazing. Okay? So it says, but if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made them. Okay, we're the number one creation, and we're controlled by him. Okay, so that shows power right there. So nothing here should astonish you or amaze you more than Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Now, it's things like mountains and a lot of things here, bro, are amazing to see. You know what I'm saying? But these people are basically have made those things gods to worship. Okay. And this is another thing. So being controlled, this is Romans 9 and 21. Hath not the potter power over the clay, of the same lump to make one vessel to honor and another to dishonor? Because he is much more mightier than us. Okay, that's the point. He's more mightier than us because we're being controlled. Okay, so he's more mightier than all the things that they call gods. I mean, if it resonates, he's more mightier than they call like Zeus, the God of thunder or water, or just whatever people may make a God, the ultimate creation that he controls is man. Okay? So he can use one to say, you're going to be no good your whole life. I'm going to use you for my purpose. That's power. All right? 5. For by the greatness and beauty of the creatures, proportionably, the maker of them is seen. So you see the beauty of the Most High in everything. Okay? Romans 1:20. For the invisible thing of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power, I'm going to just read it verbatim, and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. So, you have to believe that somebody created all these things. It's evident. Okay, and that's why I wrote, a little side note. It says, we know he exists because we see his creation, which are noted in the Bible. You go to Genesis, and it's an apocrypha somewhere too, where it speaks about how, in order that he created like fruit on the third day, I think it was. But it tells you in the scriptures that he created all these things. So he gets all the credit. Okay, so you can't just go and say that it's no God, because it told you the book is about nothing but prophecy, bro. It's like prophecy all through the Bible. Okay, if it's telling you man was created, if it's telling you birds was created, water and land was separated, and it gives you the moon and the stars and all that, you can't deny it. He's telling you he made it. Okay? So you have no excuse not to believe in him. Verse 6, it says, yet for this they are less to be blamed, for they peradventure err, seeking God, and desirous to find him. For being conservant in his works, they search him diligently, and believe their sight. Their sight. You're looking for the Most High. These people are looking for the Most High and things that they can see. But it just showed you, it just told you that if you look at his creation, you'll know that he is, because he bear witness that he created all these things. Okay? But they look for him. A lot of people want, when someone says the Spirit guided me, a lot of people don't believe that because they don't believe in something that can't be seen. All right? They can't believe in something that can't be seen. That's why they say, I'll believe it when I see it. All right? Everybody doesn't have that gift of faith. Okay? It says, because the things are beautiful that are seen. So that's why they say the wind God. You know what I'm saying? The fire God. That's why they say that, because they can see it. That's why it's a God to them. They don't want to just believe in and have faith that it's someone that created these things. Okay, this is 1 Timothy 6:5. Preserve disputing of men of corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. For such withdraw yourself. This is why they believe in Christian pastors. Okay? Because they see these men, and they see them in the light of God must be using this man if I'm going to believe in him, because he has what? All the things he's saying. They're basically being shown forth. Okay? That's why when people see big name pastors on TV, the congregation grows because they see it with their eyes. This man must be, if I want to see what the fuss is at this church over here, because everybody's talking about this man, and it's the talk of the town. Now, without knowing what this guy's about, this person, by what they see, they just go and join a church. All right? Because they see it. God must be using this man because I see prosperity in him. Okay? This is 8. Howbeit, neither are they to be pardoned. For if they were able to know so much that they could aim at the world, how did they not sooner find the Lord thereof? So if you can look at everything around you and understand how beautiful it is, and this makes sense and that makes sense, how could you have not known that somebody had to create these things? Okay? How could you have not found the person or the being that's responsible for all these things? You read the Bible. Okay? This is Proverbs 11:21. Though hand joineth hand, the wicked shall not be punished, but the seed of the unrighteous shall be delivered. And that's there because howbeit neither are they to be pardoned, because these things were put here and basically promoted by who you call the wicked. Okay? The wicked. They started it. They started a trend, and Jake picked up on it. Because this whole thing is really about Jake returning to his righteous place. Okay? But no matter what, it says, howbeit neither are they to be pardoned. Hey, the wicked gonna answer for it. No matter who tries to save them from it. Okay? But miserable are they. In dead things is their hope. And dead things is their hope. Who call them gods, which are the works of men's hands. There you go. So somebody put that idea out there. And that's why when you watch movies like the Book of Eli, he was in search for the Bible so bad because he also said it. The person that controls this book controls the world. Plain and simple. Okay? And deceit, they can make it look deceitful. You know? But it says, which are the works of the man's hands, gold and silver, to shew art in the assembling of beasts, are a stone good for nothing, the work of ancient hands. And you know, the things that's worshipped came from someone, passed down generation to generation. And this is the main one right here. This is 1 Maccabees 3:48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image. So now we're going into idol worship. Okay, to their image. Voila. There you have it. And it says in 1490, the Pope Alexander had an artist model a Jesus painting after his son, Cesare Borgia. Both father and son were extremely wicked. No kidding. But this here is what is entrapped in the minds of Israelites today, because it said it would happen. It said the hands of gold and silver, which means people in a higher position. So people see this must be true because this man of authority, he put it out there. Okay? So someone in a higher position in life, put something out there, that doesn't make it right. But in people's eyes, because they only believe what they see, it has to be something righteous about it. Okay? And not only that, it says, or a stone good for nothing. Now we're going to go right over here to the stone. This is Habakkuk 2:19. Woe unto him that saith to the wood. And what is a symbol for Christianity? A wooden cross. Awake to the dumb stone. 2.2 billion Muslims. They're telling this stone, arise. It shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it. So, the two things on this planet right now that surpasses anything is Christianity and Islam. Go figure. And that's why when you read in Deuteronomy, when those curses came over us, it says, I will bring you into land to where you will worship other gods, wood and stone, which your fathers before you didn't even know. We learned all those things when we came over here. Simple. Okay? Here you go. There you go. Plain and simple. All right, but these are instruments used on our people. And what do you have? Only to be wicked. Because there's no order in Christianity. There's no order in Islam. And those things aren't even for us. You know what I'm saying? This would be a religion for Ishmael, who are the Arabs. And this would be for Esau, who you know as white folks. We didn't know this before we got here. The Quran came out, 500 something odd years after the Bible? Come on, man. Now a carpenter that felleth timber after he had sawn down a tree, meet for the purpose, and taking off all the bark skillfully round about, and hath wrought it handsomely, and made a vessel thereof fit for the service of man's life. And after spending the refuse of his work to dress his meat, he filled himself, and taking the very refuse among those which serve to no use, being a crooked piece of wood and full of knots, hath carved it diligently, made it look good, when he had nothing else to do, and formed it by the skill of his understanding, and fashioned it to the image of a man, or made it like some vile beast. And we know when we see beast and vile, we know what that's speaking of. Laying it over with vermilion, and with paint coloring it red, and covering every spot therein. And when he had made a covenant room for it, set it in a wall, and made it fast with iron. So he just dressed up an image. You see him a lot all over the place today. For he provided for it that it might not fall. Fasten it good, knowing that it was unable to help itself. So it's no life in statues and idols that people worship. Okay? For it is an image, and hath need of help. Then maketh he prayer for his goods, for his wife and his children, and is not ashamed to speak to that which hath no life. The cobblestone is not going to save you. Jesus Christ is not going to save you. Period. Okay? For health He calleth upon that which is weak, for life prayeth to that which is dead. A stone not going to save you. Cesare Borgia, who was painted in that image in 1490, 1492, it's not going to help you. It's not going to save you. But people still pray to those things this day. For aid humbly beseecheth that which hath least means to help. The things cannot help you. And keep in mind, when we come into these times of Jacob's trouble, well, martial law, and you're going to have stormtroopers, no electricity, you're going to be calling upon these things to deliver you, and you're not going to get no answer. Simple. And for a good journey, he asketh of that which cannot set foot forward. You're going to ask something, you're going to pray to something that can't set forth and walk itself to help you walk. You're going to pray for something to help you on a journey that can't even move and speak. Right. And for gaining and getting, and for good success of his hands, asketh ability to do of him that is most unable to do anything. People put their trust in this. People put their trust in this. It's all vanity. But people know the reason why it was only to be wicked. How was it only to be wicked? Let's see. Religion was created. Now, through religion, people get married. Now, you go to a church to get married. They call it a sacred event. Holy matrimony. Where in the Bible does it tell you to go before? You got to go get your paper now. You got to get your certificate. Some of these things were done, but it was not in wickedness like this. They say the average wedding costs around 35 grand. Now you got to fly people in, and Esau and every other nation are profiting major off these things. That's why it's wicked. Okay? That's why it's wicked. Christianity, you go to church, you pay tithing to this guy who's leading you astray. That's why it's wicked. The image that you're praying to, the thing you have in your mind, this white guy, that's wicked. Okay? Something simple as that. When someone dies, you're supposed to bury them on your property in your yard. But what do? To be embalmed, Esau gets paid. The suit, Esau get paid. The casket, Esau gets paid. The funeral arrangements, Esau gets paid. It's all wicked. And you name it and line it up in the name of Christianity. Same thing with Islam. Those Arabs come over here, open up stores, sell rugs. If you Jake and you say you Muslim, or you just say if you just Muslim, you ain't even got to go in. You ain't even got to tell them that. What they got rotisserie in there. Nothing but pork. Nothing but pig. Nothing but swine's flesh. They don't eat it, but they gonna sell it to you. Swisher Sweets, Black and Miles, they gonna sell it to you because they know it's wickedness, but they know you're going to be paid. Why are these things constantly in so-called blacks, which are Israelites, neighborhoods? I've seen it firsthand. All the stores on this side of town, I live midtown. Okay, it's not bad and it's not just like the best. Okay? There are stores midtown and Ishmael and Ammon, they're all in there. Now you go south of the town and it's nothing but Esau. The same ones that own their stores, they have a store, a Kroger's. Man, it's like a damn shopping mall. But they don't want to live amongst us. They know, hey, we ain't going to stay by y'all. We're going to sell y'all all these wicked things. And we're going to go right over there with the white folks. Simple, bruh. Man, I hope this is edifying. I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle, that was a great millstone. Peace.